exclusively as a segregated community because they live there voluntarily. Everything there is controlled by them. The economy, the politics, the civic organizations, but the Negro community is referred to as a segregated community because Negroes are forced to live in that community contrary to their will, and they don't control the businesses of their community. They don't control the politics of their community, nor their social life. White man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of chattel or cattle or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will, and then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes, do they hate them?
Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day. While the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor, he was telling you to build your own house.
Woo! Hooty hoo. Build your own house. Strange concept, right? Welcome to the No PC show. Tonight's topic, we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to call it Don't Be Stupid, because I think a lot of the people around the world are actually going about this wrong, this whole thought process. And I'll just say, man, you got to feel how you're going to feel, but sometimes it's a bit emotional. First, I want to give a hand clap to the NBA people that, for a brief moment, showed some gumption and decided not to play a game to get the attention of the slave owners, as I like to call them. Kaepernick still doesn't have a job, by the way. So they took a day off, so I guess they could get the attention of the powers that be. But as far as I can tell, today they decided to go back. I guess they're going to resume, and it is what it is. I applaud them for taking the one step, the giant step, would have been, okay, we done. Now you had the Lakers and the Clippers. They were talking about that's it, shut it down. But there were other people like we done made this sacrifice, so we got to go with it. So I mean, to each his own. I haven't watched football in 2 years, but if we don't all make the same sacrifices, I love football too. Cap still ain't got a job. So it's going to take monumental sacrifice. Everybody is up in arms about the Jacob Blake shooting. And so we just going to get into that real quick. They've been releasing different angles of the camera shot. I want to ask people a question because I'm very interested. We're not going to open the lines yet for a discussion, but let me come back on camera. Can you all tell me what happened the first time you walked away from your parents? They're talking to you and then you just walk away like, screw what you talking about. I'm out. You remember what happened? No, you don't. Because you got knocked the F out and you never did it again. When I say don't be stupid, even if you're not under arrest and a police officer is talking to you, stand the F still because you're acting like you're dealing with a moral person. They might be, they might not. You rolling the dice. But if there's a situation, shut up. You ain't really got to talk. You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to mention your name. You can say your name, but, lawyers will tell you, shut up. They said you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you. Believe it. Oh, well, they shot him in the back. Okay. He walked away from police officers, whatever the circumstances was. If you innocent, and yes, we have seen plenty of people get shot and killed and attacked, and it's all wrong. I'm not defending the wrongness of it all. I'm defending the way you handle it. I've heard people talking about, oh, well, I'll jump out and I'll provoke the police and all this. Okay, what's your plan after that? Burial? Why don't we let's do this? That's my email address up there, theshow1965@yahoo.com. I want everybody who feels like F this stuff, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do this and jump on some police and attack some police. Send me your social security number and stuff so I can take an insurance policy out on you. And it'll be a good policy because if you die from stupidity, I want to at least be able to fund the real revolution because the real revolution is going to be economics. Oh, well, he shot him. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what happens. You know what happens when you get crazy with the police? The police get crazy with you. That's it, bottom line. Whether you're right or wrong, the situation is what the situation is. Now, people will be like, but what about the white dude walking down the street with the gun? Where did the millennials and Gen X get the idea that it was equal in this country? I missed that part because I was never taught it was equal. I was always taught that it wasn't equal, that it may go down on you at any moment. Shut the F up. Make it home. I remember there was a situation with my daughter, and she was just walking in Hyde Park, and Some guys tried to scream at her, and she, she just blew it off, like didn't give him no play. Oh, F you, bitch, and so and so and so and so. She said, I thought about turning around and saying something. Then your voice came in my head like, just keep moving. That's the correct response. Stop letting people send you off, because that's part of the trap. I remember as a young man, police came, slapped my hat off my head, told me to pick it up. I said, no, sir. He pushed me. I said, pick it up. No, sir. You're not about to shoot me and say I was going for something. When are we going to learn about the traps? There's nobody teaching people about the traps where they send you off, where you allow other people to send you off, these agitators and all this. Yeah, the white dude who shot and killed a couple of people was wrong. But he was part of the system. Because prior to that, he was helping get graffiti off the police departments. They were drinking water with the cops, talking with the cops, and the cops were like, thank you all for helping us. They're already part of a militia. Black people act like, this is like a revolution of weapons, and it's not, because we don't have enough weapons. But do we have enough intelligence to turn around and say, let's really think about this. What is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate plan? We're exhausting a lot of energy running up and down the streets. Oh, this is bad. Okay, yeah, it's bad. But I'm not covering for everybody that does some dumb shit, because I want the dumb shit to stop. That's what I want. Yeah, I remember seeing the guy laying on the ground and the cops still shot him, and the cop said, I don't know why. I remember the young lady sitting in her apartment and the cops come in and shoot her, and I don't know why. I know people that were cops, and this is what the cops told me. Richard, when a cop comes, anything you say or do can be interpreted as aggressiveness. So the best thing for you to do is shut the fuck up. No, it doesn't sound manly. Oh, that's not manly, man. I need to get shot or something, or beat down or something. Something got to happen to me. Stop trying to get stories to tell your friends and tell your kids 20, 30 years later, because you might not be alive. Here's the basic rules of militancy. You will pay for your militancy. We spend a whole lot of energy talking about the white man this and the white man this and the white man this, but we don't put the same amount of energy in the black man doing this and the black man doing this and the black man doing this. And I've had a couple of online beefs with some people. Talking about, we got a plan. I said, well, what's your plan? I said, come over to the No PC show on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Just look it up. All one word, the No PC show. Look it up. Come talk to me, brother. Let's hear your plan. And every plan I've heard from these people has made no sense. It's not moved the needle one bit. We call this a No PC show because it stands for no political correctness. I don't really believe in the politics of this country. I believe we are going to have to build our own house, as it says in the beginning of the clip. Build your own house, and then you ain't got to worry about all the shit that goes on in somebody else's house. If people want to play politics, then those people that want to play politics go out there and get us some money. Shut the system down until we get some economic money. But us, we got to get our shit together. We got to find some type of unity among each other. Because while we out here screaming and crying about this person getting shot, by the cops and this person getting shot. I'm crying about all the niggas that's out here shooting. Because every year across America, you're averaging at least almost 10,000 murders a year in black neighborhoods. And this is a black man saying it. And don't nobody see shit. Don't nobody know shit. And it ain't fun when you got to go and identify your loved one laying on a slab in the morgue. I know how it feels. I had to go identify my sister. And my shop is in the same neighborhood 4 blocks away from where my sister was murdered by niggas on the street. So stop trying to hype me up with what this cop did and what this other cop did and what this other cop did. Stop thinking that you got to win because you want a buck. There's consequences to that buck. And if you don't give a fuck, like I say, send me your information so I can get an insurance contract out on you. So then you can freely buck. And then we all can pay. Then the revolution can be funded. And we might even put you on a T-shirt. But they not looking for you, brother. They looking for the leaders of the program. And right now, it's not looking like leaders. Hooray, LeBron stepping up. All the other NBA players. We need every player in every sports. The difference between us and white people in this country is white people don't give a damn. They will shut this country down. Everybody's playing nice right now because it's election time. Oh, this is nice. They not mentioning it at the Democratic or the Republican convention. They talking about everything except what's going on. But they're talking about the lawlessness, the looters. And although there's all these different races out there protesting, you know who they're talking about. You know exactly who they're talking about. They're talking about us. That white boy with that gun shot a couple of people and walked a few blocks with people pointing out to the police officers, he did it. He's got a gun. They all rode by him. About 4 or 5 cars rode by him as he was being pointed out as the shooter. Tamir Rice, standing in the park, a little boy, 12 years old. They rolled up on him and within seconds shot and killed him dead. I understand the nonsense that goes on. We tired of the senseless killings, the murders. But does that mean we need to be senseless? We need to be in situations that may not work out. There was a young man, came from a good home, good environment, everything, had a skateboard, hit the cop in the head with the skateboard. Okay, yeah, you going to jail, bro. And you know what happens when you get a felony? You can't get student loans no more. You disqualified from a lot of stuff that you may need to survive. But most of the people out there protesting, they haven't learned to survive. Or that's all they doing is surviving. I mean, they out here day and night. I guess they don't have jobs. But that's just like the civil rights movement. Most of the children people in the civil rights movement were young people. The parents still had to go to work and had to try to play it off just to try to get something. And these people now, they'll fix their mouth to say, oh, screw them. They was so and so and so and so. You're going to disrespect the people that took the punch in the face so you didn't have to take the punch in the face. Oh, well, we still getting punched in the face. Okay, what's your plan? You punching back or we coming together to build something? That's a question. I just want to know. I don't know. What is our plan? What are we doing? We got all these great minds that have for years talked about black unity, coming together. My thoughts on this is, and when you come to my shop, I have all these different flags, all these nationalities, no American flag. Why would there be one there? So I'm the first to say I'm not taking up for America, but I'm thinking along the lines of, if we can get something out of these people, because reparations has been sitting on the table for years and it hasn't been served. So if we get a black tax, or if we get some money, the amount of money that they have spent on trying to keep the economy afloat is pretty much the equivalent of what it would take to give blacks restitution. But what if we took that restitution and said, okay, I'm going to go back to Africa, but we need to make some connections in Africa, because the thing I always talk about is all these other cultures have connection to their originality, to their heritage. A lot of Chinese people can call people in China. African people can call people in Africa. Black so-called Americans, who you calling? Nobody. Ain't nobody to call. That's how disconnected we are. But what if we reconnected to our originality? I don't wake up thinking about these people. It was 2 years ago that I walked away from corporate America. I took all I could take, and I took it because I had responsibilities. And that's what happens to a lot of people that you call Uncle Toms, because they went to work so the lights could stay on, so the gas could stay on, so there could be food on the table. At the same time, I mentored young men in my store daily. I'm having these same conversations that I'm talking about right now, having at the store, because I realized in that man's system, I was never going to reach my full potential. So I had to build my own. Now, I go and work 60 hours a week in a shop and make nowhere near the money that I was making in corporate America. But guess what? I don't have to listen to them no more. I don't have to hear they bullshit and they lies and all this pretentious we love you type bull crap that they throw on you in these corporate settings. I's free. Oh my God, he's a free Negro. Sometime we're gonna have to start at the ground level and build a foundation. We got too many people wanting to be leaders and can't lead themselves. I was talking to some of the young men during the riots, uprising, and they talking about, well, we want to be in charge. In charge of what? In charge of who? I don't want you to be in charge, because you're not doing anything. So I don't want you to be in charge. I want the people to be in charge that have a plan. And you look out and you look at the ADOS, that's the African Descendants of Slaves, and they got a lot of great ideas. And you look at Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, all these great people out here, these great minds, but nobody ever really says, maybe we need to separate for a minute. I'm not against separating, because we need to learn to love black people. Because you can't help people if you don't love them. That's the rules I live by. So even though sometimes you may have to curse out one of your brothers or sisters. Prime example, today, a guy calls. He's an ex-Vietnam vet, went into the war, all that type of stuff. He's a little bit off, but I've been trying to help him for years with his computer work. And he tells me today, because I won't do what he wants me to do, because he's not doing the right things when it comes to his computer, and I've done work for him for free because he's a senior, he's a vet, trying to extend myself to him. Well, I'm going to go spend my money with the white people. So I told him, if you want to be a nigga, go ahead, be a nigga. I can't force you to love me. I told him I'm the most honest black man I know. And I bend over backwards to do stuff for you. I've helped you time and time again. I said, but one thing we're not going to do up in here is talk that white man shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to participate in it. Save it. So any Negro that comes into my shop with that, the white man this and the white man that, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the black man this and the black man this, and we need to do this, and we need to come together on this. And yes, brother, that's what I want to hear. Don't tell me how good the white man treats you in his funky system. The white man messes up 1,000,000 times, and you still take your funky nigga ass back to him. No matter how much he fucks up. That's what a nigga is to me. Somebody that hasn't learned his lesson, that hasn't seen the capabilities of what's going on. I don't know. I'm looking at the Facebook side, but it might have fell off. I don't know. So I don't want to hear any of that, especially from black people. That kind of irks me when it comes to business, because I intentionally came back to the community and opened my shop in the community, regardless of what people are saying. Well, the money, you can't make no money with black folks, and you can't do this with black folks, and you can't do this with black folks. And I said, why not? The dope dealer make money, and he in the neighborhood. So there is money in the neighborhood. It's just what we spending it on. We might need a whole makeover. We got to start having some honest conversations. What happened to that brother was definitely tragic. And if he's paralyzed for the rest of his life, he's going to go through some phases. And you want to know those phases he's going to go through? And then the real reality is going to hit him. He's going to sit there. First, he's going to be mad, upset. And then he's going to possibly go through some depression. Then he's going to get angry again. And then the reality is going to set in. And one day he's going to say to himself, why in the fuck did I do that? I can't play ball with my kids. I can't get around like I used to. And I know there's plenty of people out there screaming, oh, well, you got to get up and do this and do this. Nigga, please. Stop it. If you got that much energy, then get the fuck up and get out here and do something. Something constructive. We don't jump in lions' dens just because it sounds nice and because people hype you up. Stop letting people hype you up to get fucked up. It's so many double standards in this society that you got to be aware every day when you wake up as a black man in America. You got to be aware that every day you walk out the door, there's a trap sitting somewhere. A lot of them are being set by our own people. We intentionally live together. Chicago is probably one of the most segregated cities in America. But we allow politicians and others to screw us over if everybody really wants to be mad and go crazy on something, let's go crazy on the Lincoln Yards where they got $2 billion, $800 million of it, which was TIF money, which is supposed to go to the black community, black blighted areas. But what do? They take the money they want, and then they give us a few million to fight over. Okay, we got $800 million of the TIF. Here you go. You take that $8 million. That's for all y'all. That's west, east, and west side. That's for all y'all. The $8 million. For our little community right here, we're gonna put $2 billion in. We're gonna make money. It's gonna be great. Come check it out once we're done. And nobody says nothing. Same thing happened in Chicago with Navy Pier. That money was taken from the 3rd Ward, $50 million, just gangstered, to fix up Navy Pier. Nobody's protesting. Nobody's saying anything. Oh, this just politics. No, it's not. This just bullshit. The revolution is economics. You need money to get away from these people. The only solution I see is, hey, if we can get some money, let's get some money. If not, we got to start building regardless. But, that's going to take too long. We Americans, I mean, no, you're not. Americans are the ones that officially came here on their own and said, I want to be here. You didn't say that. Your parents didn't say that. Your grandparents didn't say that. Neither your great-grandparents said that. So all we are present-day slaves, kind of like what Kanye say. But a few of us, we get some money and we forget. Oh, well, shit, nigga, I got money, man. I mean, it's okay. It's the best place. I mean, where else we going to go? You don't want to go nowhere else because you don't know nothing else. This is the whole con that was laid down on you. You were stripped of everything. Farrakhan says it all the time. You were stripped of the essence of who you are. We talked about that last week. I don't know if I can get my picture again. Hold on. Story time. Look at that. You were stripped of who you are. This is one of my favorite pictures. It's called King the Slave. And it shows us coming from royalty down the deck of a ship into, that's a bale of cotton, into slavery. They still acting like we slaves. We having all these powerful conversations. What you think they doing? You think they not having conversations? No, they having conversations. We might have lost everybody on Facebook side, or I could have been booted off. You know, they catching the people that's got the talking points. Oh, you're talking. You're saying bad things. You're like Farrakhan or Nick Cannon or something. We got to shut this down because we're watching your streams. Maybe if I refresh, they'll let me back on over there. But regardless, we still going to take it because I record this, and we're going to post it right back in the room if they don't shut the room down. And we're going to keep it moving. Like I say, tonight's show is called Don't Be Stupid. And you're seeing a lot of people that were stupid. I saw a guy in an Escalade jump out and run into the store right down from the news station. Probably saw the cameras. Still thought it was a good idea to go in and loot. So they catching everybody. They probably not going to catch everybody, but for the percentage that they catch, you're going to get yours. Sorry. Oh man, I had a young man tell me, "Oh man, well I'm out here, I'm starving, I'm living. Why are you starving, bro? You look pretty healthy to me. You look like you could lift a truck. Lift your ass up and go find a job washing dishes or wherever the fuck you got to get up and go. How about that? Oh, you can't pass a drug test? Stop doing drugs. How about that? How about I be my brother's keeper and I hold you accountable? I was recently at a event with State Rep LaShawn Ford and a few aldermen and things like that, and I got up and spoke. And I say, the time has come now for us to hold everybody accountable. And it's to stop letting our young brothers and sisters go out here with stupid shit. Oh, this looting is reparations. Sit your stupid ass down. If you're not smart enough to come up with a plan and stand up and act intelligently, then sit down. Nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody wants to see you killed. Nobody wants to see you beaten. Because you don't understand the whole process you're going through. You just want to have a good story to tell, and you tooting and getting high. Well, Black Lives Matter, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and that organization is funded and ran by white people and headed by black women. Nothing against the sisters, but I'm always saying, when are the brothers going to stand up? Well, what you doing? Okay, well, I opened a store in the neighborhood. I talked to the people. I went down to the My Brothers Keepers Foundation, asked what could I do. I go to all the neighborhood meetings trying to find out what's going on. Join this committee. Talk to this person. Hang out with some politicians. Yeah, doing all that little shit. Maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe it won't. But guess what I'm not doing? I'm not sitting on my ass. I'm not out here fighting cops. And there's a reason. Yeah, there is a reason to fight a cop. We were talking one day about there was a situation in school where the cops grabbed this young lady and drug her down some stairs, and her father came, and he didn't do anything. And I was like, no, I'm going to jail. And other people were like, well, no, she was, yeah, even if she's wrong, I'm not going to let you beat my child like that. You can stand her up. You can put handcuffs on her. You can take her to jail with dignity. But you will not stomp on her, choke her out, beat her down. That's when I'm going to jail. I'm not going to jail for people that want to act out against authority for no apparent reason. But, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but stop it. Stand still. When the dog runs up on you, you're told, don't run, because he's going to chase you, and he's going to catch you, and he's going to bite you in your ass. Sometimes, even if you don't run, he may still bite you. Same thing with cops. You don't know. I've been cursed by cops, harassed by cops, robbed by cops, all the whole little gamut. And I still know when I'm in a situation and I'm surrounded by cop cars, not to jump out the car waving my arms. What the fuck going on? These motherfuckers fuck. Nope. I know not to do it. Because that's what they waiting on. They waiting on you to pull that shit. Or white people do it all the time. Yeah, they do. And they get away with it. Because most of the time, they scared to do something to white folks because, shit, they may know a lawyer or somebody in a high-ranking position that could get me fired. But you, Taquan, I'm sure you don't know shit because you don't leave these 4 blocks. You don't get out enough. You don't participate enough. You the first motherfucker that screams, vote for what? You don't sign your census. You don't do none of the shit that's required for you and your people to come together to build something. You point the finger at Look at the Hispanics and what they doing. Hispanics are taking over. I mean, most of Malcolm X College is now Hispanics. They taking advantage of all the programs. They keeping people out their neighborhoods. They working with the enemy in Chicago. Michael Madigan is right there with the Latinos. They like, well, fuck it. Whatever we got to do to get ahead. But we still arguing and fighting and clawing and scratching and bitching. Oh, look what happened to us. Look what happened. And it's going to continue to happen. What about Breonna Taylor? Another sad situation. They're going to try to smear her. The sadder situation is when they hit you with the death by cop thing and blame it on you. Tamir Rice, the little boy, was blamed for his own death. Nobody went to jail. There was a case with LeGrier where the neighbor opened the door for the police and they killed her and him. They paid a little settlement for her because they thought that was an accident, but they blamed him himself when he was the one called the police. Eric Gardner, we all saw it on TV. They set it up. They waited. They made the call. We're going to need about 6 or 7. There's a big boy. We're going to need to take him on down. Kind of like Radio Raheem, right? All these stories after stories after stories. And it makes me sick. But I'm not going to be sick on one side of the table. I'm going to be sick on both sides of the table. I'm going to be sick over here for the shit they do, and I'm going to be sick over here for the shit we do. And I'm going to call that shit equally fucked up. So I'm going to protest against this that they do, and I'm going to protest against what you do. Because I don't need them. I need you. So we can do what we got to do to build our own so we don't have to be persecuted daily by this evil society that we call America. It's a real revolution. Oh my God. Let's do something different. I just had to do a little ranting today. I'm testing things out with this YouTube and with Facebook. I don't know what happened to Facebook tonight. I got kicked off, so could be hate speech. Could be hate speech. I said a lot of hateful things tonight, I guess. But probably going to start doing a lot of little segments to test everything out because I really want to try to get the full potentials of what this software can do, what the powers of the software is, where I can do a quality show. And if you want to drop us a line, email us the show, 1965@yahoo.com. Didn't open the phone lines tonight, but maybe next week as we continue to watch and see how things progress with the NBA. Even this new NBA thing, I have not been watching it. I think I caught maybe 5 minutes. I don't know who's really even playing shit. And that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to become disinterested in a lot of systems to get interested in building a system where the infrastructure is already here. Well, it's to go to make them give us a big portion of it so we can walk away from them. I found something very interesting in corporate America that if you're black, you have to really move around and get away from these people to build something. You got to like jump around like a little slave so they don't catch you. Because if you're there too long, when they say this nigga comfortable, that's how they look at us in America. These niggas comfortable. We can tell them anything and say vote for us. We can make them fight over which white man is the most racist. We can say, oh well, the Republican Party that's the party of Lincoln. Lincoln was an asshole. He really didn't do anything special. Oh, well, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. It was a political move. He said it himself, if I could unify the nation without freeing the slaves, I would. He gave away over 200 million acres of land prior to signing the proclamation, making vast amounts of white people landowners. Land that they had taken from the Indians and shit. It really wasn't America's land. They just, fuck it, we taking it. So stop praising these presidents and all this stuff, and let's get some real thought thinkers, a think tank, and let's do something different. Let's be different. How about this? Let's be black people. Love, peace, soul. Y'all know how we do it. We out of here.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
Now, if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out. You got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you wanna be motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Fuck that. Freedom or death, nigga.
If you just listen,
Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga.
you ain't getting a warning. Until now, you're going to jail.
I'm getting it for what?